Welcome back to the Game Breakers podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Horowitz, joined alongside Kamani. And today we've got a special guest on the channel, the first interview. My guy, Jourdan. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Dan?
Good. How you doing, Kamani?
I'm here chilling, excited for this first interview.
Yep. So I'll let you introduce yourself, just where you from, how you chose Barry,
Got you. All right, so my name is Jourdan Mitchell, like Dan said. I'm from New York, Queens. I chose Barry because it gave me the most money, obviously, but it gave me an opportunity to continue my passion. Coming out of high school, I didn't really have looks the way I thought I would. I didn't. I'm so serious, man. I didn't play AAU. I was only a high school basketball kid. So when Butch gave me the opportunity to come down here to try for the camp, he saw that I actually had some type of talent, and he said, I can't promise you a spot on the varsity team, but we do have a developmental team on our team, and you could start off there and then work your way up. So that's how I came here.
So when did you start hooping?
Honestly, I want to say I started hooping like in 10th grade. Like, I'm really a late bloomer. I know a lot of kids now, they've been hooping since they was like 3 years old, 4 years old. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I did like dribble the ball once or twice, but I made the middle school team, I think, in like 7th grade. I was a bigger kid, so I wasn't really like on the court. It was more so like a practice player, and I've been basically a practice player since from 7th grade all the way to 9th grade. And I guess when I lost weight in 10th grade, I was able to be more athletic, more dominant, and then that's when the skill really started to like mesh with my athleticism.
Was it just basketball like you did at the beginning? Like what made you start playing basketball?
So yeah, that's a great question actually. When I do get this question, I usually say basketball is a sport that allows everybody to contribute. Even though other sports do the same thing, I feel like basketball gives you a certain type of impact on the court. You're able to actually can see your numbers on the scoreboard. You can see I did that, or I made the assist to do that. Football is more so like the receiver catches the ball from the QB, they score. The offensive linemen don't usually get credit. But to answer your question, yes, I did play other sports. I started off with soccer. Then I went off to football. I played soccer and football at one time, and then lacrosse. I did track, did a little bit of hockey.
Yeah.
Damn, everything, bro.
Yeah, I mean, as my football coach said, he said when you play multiple sports, it balances out because now you're able to be more agile in other type of sports. Yeah.
Talking about that type of stuff, I feel like basketball people overall, I feel like they can play any other sport, not be great, but they can play at least decent.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like.
Yeah, I started playing basketball in like 10th grade also.
Yeah.
And I feel like basketball is a sport where like if you don't start, I mean, there's exceptions if you're huge and really athletic, but if you don't start playing when you're like 4 or 5 years old, it's hard to make it to that
really behind
next level. I feel like it's one of the hardest sports to truly develop in. So yeah, talk about a little bit how hard it is to develop in basketball, different skill sets and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Developing skills is definitely harder, especially being so late into the game. You have to play catch up, and playing catch up in anything is not usually the best. But
left hand dribbling.
I'm a lefty.
Oh, yeah, different.
But it gives you the drive and motivation to want to catch up, and that's what I like. I like seeing other people like above me, and I'm saying, you know what, I want to get better, so I'm going to go at you. I want the competitiveness.
For sure. And I mean, I've seen you throw down some dunks and stuff like that. So, I mean, you've got the physical aspect of it. What's the secret to being able to jump so high, get on the rim like that? That's not my place, though.
I got you. I mean, I started dunking when I was late. I think I was like senior year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like 6 foot, 250 pounds. So that was a lot coming down on my knees. But, I mean, I always had leg muscle. So I guess when I, like, cut down the weight, the athleticism went up. But I usually just do a lot of like calf raises, squats, all that type of stuff. Plyometrics too. I definitely started incorporating that more into my workouts.
So when you're doing legs in the gym, is it more strength training or plyometrics like you said, or like do you mix them up in the same days, or do you have a schedule one day I hit this, one day hit?
So I've basically been doing more calisthenics, which is using your own body weight as your own gym. So I really haven't been doing the weights like that. But last week I actually started trying to incorporate weights back into my training regimen, and I saw a significant like increase of bounce. Like I'm throwing down effortless dunks now, like in jeans, and I'm like, bro, I just walked in the gym. I'm like, it'd be impossible, but plyometrics for sure. Do a lot of more strength training. I feel like having like leg muscle mass is like more so how you're gonna get more bounce. Plyometrics is basically just training like the tendons and the muscles more so, but I think weights definitely do it.
Yeah, you gotta send me some videos of you throwing it down so I can put it on the.
I got you for sure.
Video for that.
So
But
I think like your first year at Barry and being on the development team, I should say. So how did that start? That whole process of being a rookie in that type of sense, or a freshman, I should say.
When I first came in, I won't lie, I was very hesitant with my confidence and everything. We had the tryouts. I was playing well in the tryouts. I made the last try was actually the worst for me. I was missing wide open layups, getting blocked. I was like,
The one for this season?
no, freshman.
Oh,
my freshman
freshman.
year.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not making the team. I saw my friends, they get their emails, and I was the last one to get my email. And
for real?
yeah, and I was just in class, and I was just like, bro, I know I'm not making it. But, there's next year. Just keep working at it. Got the email. I jumped up out of my seat. I remember I was in psychology, and my teacher was like, what's up? And I was like, I made the team. He was like, yo, give him a round of applause. And I was like, thank you. But, coming into the first year, I came off the bench. I was the sixth man, actually, for the first game, and I was like for someone who was doing terrible at tryouts, I'm sixth man. That's pretty impressive.
How was the experience being first game?
The first game, oh my God.
I think you remember?
Yes, it's memorable for sure. Coach had me guarding a 7-footer. I don't know.
Were you playing center? Or were you playing?
Yeah, I was playing the 5.
Oh, okay.
Well, our big.
Yeah, they got you playing the big a lot.
They do.
not a lot of size on that team.
Yeah. It's basically more so my strength wise. My strength matches I guess a big.
Yeah.
So yeah, my first time I was guarding a 7-footer, and I got a bounce pass on a fast break, and I was like, easy layup. Muffed.
Yeah.
Glassed it easy. And he just looked down at me, and I was like, all right, bro, let's get back on. I'm gonna get back on defense. That's cool. Yeah. Then coach subbed me right out, and I was like, coach, you really can't do nothing about that. Can't do nothing about that. But yeah, the first game was definitely memorable. That moment especially. I think the team in general we were just so tightly knit. I mean, obviously, you go back and forth with teammates. That's normal. Yeah. But besides that, the team itself was just great.
I mean, because I see all of you guys always hanging out in the cafeteria. I see you guys are close like that. So it's cool to see.
I think the best part about being at Barry too is Butch has also made it a point that the varsity team is also the developmental team is an extension of the varsity team.
Yeah.
So we're able to talk to the varsity team. We're always to get advice from them. We can always watch their practices and stuff, which is great. Not so great is we don't get the same amount of training and I guess afterwards practices attention. Yeah, we don't get any type of treatment. So it's we have practices usually from 8 to 11. We don't get back into the dorm until maybe 12, eat 1, then you have to wake up for an 8 or 9 a.m. class.
Yeah, because when I used to manage the team, because you used to see me with the team last year, so I used to see you guys coming in at nighttime damn, that's low-key crazy still.
Yeah, bro, it is.
They got to stream the games too.
Yeah.
Bro, so we do have a huddle. I don't know why coach doesn't stream it. I think it's just more for film for us to send out to other coaches if we want to go to another school. But yeah, you're right. They should start streaming it because I know my parents have been getting on me for the last 2 years already. I want to see your game. I want to see your game. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You got to talk to coach. You have to talk to coach.
So what would you say are some of the strengths in your play style and weakness? If there's one thing you added right now to your game, you think, oh, I'm in the next level.
I always feel like I can improve on everything I do. I'm never going to be satisfied. Being complacent, as my dad told me, is nothing to be proud of. You should always strive to be better and want to be better for everything. But I think shooting, for sure. My finish, sometimes it can be a little too much, as you know. But, yeah, I think shooting, finishing, obviously IQ, you always have to develop that. That's never going to, you're always going to be a student in the game when it comes to that. You're never going to learn everything. So, yeah, I think those 3 things for sure.
Yeah, I think if we played a one-on-one, you'd probably just bully me inside. Monty he was saying before the podcast, what was it, 11-2 you said you'd
11-2?
I didn't say all that.
So what are some plans outside of basketball, or if it's to continue playing basketball just after this college career?
I know you were talking to me about playing in Europe, so tell them.
Yeah, so there's obviously multiple ways to become a professional basketball player now. I've been starting to look into a lot more. But I did my freshman and sophomore year, I did have some type of agencies reach out to me. They saw me through Huddle, NCSA, I believe. They saw me through all those things, and they saw film, and they said, we can see potential in you. We just want to know if you want to play overseas. And obviously that's the goal. I want to continue to play basketball at the highest level. God gave me this talent, so I don't want to, just let it go to waste. But, yeah, I think for right now, I'm focusing on the present. I think since 10th grade, since I really started playing basketball, I spent most of my time trying to figure out, am I going to make the NBA? Am I going to make the G League? How do I do this? And my parents have taught me, you need to focus on the present. Only thing you can do is control the controllables.
Yeah, can I really mess up your mental and your confidence?
And that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
My freshman year, that's exactly what it did. When I wasn't getting the right amount of minutes as I thought I believe I should get, it messed me up bad. I wasn't able to perform the way I was. I had little people talking in my ear. How does he think he's going to make the main team if he's playing like this? And, it really got to me. And I won't say I was depressed, but I was at a low point where it was just like, at this point, what am I going to do? You know what? So it was rough towards the end, but, I thank God, I thank my family for continuing to push me, letting me get stronger and better, and I think that's what's made me the way I am right now.
Yeah, sports is tough because you're always competing to get to the next level or be better than this person.
Yep.
But like you said, if you take it one day at a time, try to get better every day, that's the way to go. And
exactly.
People think, too, like, unless it's Division I or the NBA, it's not high-level basketball, but they don't realize that even the club team or Division III, whatever it is, those guys can hoop.
Yes, they can hoop.
What are some of the toughest things you've seen or played against or during your career with the club team?
I feel like the most difficult people I've had to guard now has to be like 5'6" and under. Like
I definitely get that.
They're
those shifty.
Shifty. They're so fast, agile, and sometimes they can be a lot stronger than you think.
Yeah.
So they can knock you off your feet like a lot quicker than you think. Yeah. The lower their center of gravity, it's bad. But I know one of my teammates, Maj.
Samaj is a nice.
He's nice.
He's nice, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
I was playing like open runs one time, and he was there hooping, and I was guarding him, and he literally made like 13 straight.
It's barbecue chicken from there.
He's a big body too.
That's what I'm saying. He's grown man strength, and it's you're not gonna expect that from someone that's like that short. So.
Yeah. He be talking shit too.
Yeah, no, for sure he does.
How's your shit talk on the court? That's a big part of basketball.
It is. So my brother, actually, I think I used to be a crazy shit talker, like really bad. 10th grade, because I was playing varsity and JV at the same time. So it was like they called me up to play with them because they see my talent and stuff. Yeah, it was bad. There was some points where I wasn't even touching the ball and I would just talk. It was bad. But my brother, he said, you don't really need to do that as long as you let your game show for itself. Obviously, if they started first, I'm finished.
You got to.
I have to finish. But, now I'm more so reserved. Yesterday we had a game. I wasn't really talking. It was just more physical. Got 2-and-1s, and I'll just look down. I was like, yeah, bro, who's this? And then I'll do little gestures, small, big, stuff like that. I don't really.
Those are the most impactful ones.
Yeah. It was a rough game too, so I was like, I had to showcase it.
So how has the season gone? Because like you said, they don't stream the games. I haven't been able to follow it too much. But
I got you. So right now I believe we're 5-2.
That's solid.
Yeah, we played St. Thomas, which is an NAIA, last week, and we started off the first half real strong. Team chemistry was everything. It was good. And I was injured. I had a hyperextension on my thumb, so I wasn't really able to contribute like that besides getting boards and passing and stuff. But towards the second half, I guess one of our players now, he actually played for St. Thomas. So it was a big game for him. He wanted to showcase, okay, this is why I left. Let me show you why I left. And I guess that's what kind of hurt us because it was more egotistical at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not throwing shade. It's just reality.
Yeah, I get you.
It just happened like that. And we just started, I guess, falling apart as a team. We wasn't trusting each other. We wanted to do everything by ourselves, and that's what really shot us in the foot.
So that type of stuff, those situations when you're on the court or, in a huddle, how do you approach, seeing that type of stuff happening on the court? I'm pretty sure as a leader for the team, how do you go about talking to your teammates like that?
I feel like since we're all around the same age, sometimes we really don't want to hear from our peers. We want to hear from the coach. Yeah. But, you have to be assertive sometimes, especially being a leader at certain points. You have to be able to pick your team up. You have to be able to tell them, yo, it's okay, next bucket. And sometimes I even get in my own head, and I forget to use the same advice I'm giving to everybody else.
Yeah.
But we do have a really good leaders on our team, such as Ralph, Mael, Lamara. Sometimes they always tell us, next shot, next play. Don't focus on one play because that's going to continue to lower your confidence. So, I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, as long as you have a team that's always encouraging you to do better and want you to do better and not like, you know what, I'm just saying just to say it, because I've had those type of teammates where it's like, you know what, you'll get it next time, blah, blah, blah. But if you actually do mean it and you continue to push yourself and teammates, I think that's like the best type of teammate.
So like going back to, saying how you have night practices and stuff like that, I know it's kind of hard, having assignments and, outside of basketball type of stuff. So how do you manage as a student athlete with those type of regimens for yourself?
So, I mean, as a student athlete, especially coming in, I think like 11, 12 at night, usually not being able to eat because most of the spots on campus are closed.
True.
Yeah, I mean, there's some nights where it's bad. I eat like just Cheetos for dinner. Cheetos and water, and then pray, go to sleep.
Oh,
and
man, that's...
I'm telling you, bro, it's been like that for like the past 5 nights. Mm-hmm. I'm like, golly, I can't keep doing this. I can't, like, as someone being this big, you have to be able to feel your body. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, it's hard, but, I mean, I wouldn't have it anyway. Because there was at one point where I prayed to actually be in this position. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm going to take advantage of it. Obviously, coming in, like I said, 12, 1 o'clock is definitely draining, especially if you have, like, a lab that's, like, at 8:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, my God, why am I waking up this early? But then I remember there's some kids who actually do want to get an education, and they can't. So, you can't necessarily say you want to do this for them, but you also have to be like, I want to do this for them. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, you've seen it. You've been the manager on the varsity team, us coming in late at practice. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, coach is late.
He be late.
Oh, I know about that.
He be late.
He was late to the damn tryout.
Yeah, he was.
Bro, he usually, like,
we was getting our own runs in until he showed up.
It's bad because sometimes we'll, like, as a team, we'll be like, because I'm usually the first one in the gym. I used to try to get there like an hour before, put shots up, get like wrapped up by some of the trainers sometimes, do some like icy hot or some stuff like that. But yeah, I'm usually in there before, and then once the other teammates come in, they're like, "How much you got on coach? Like over or under? Like basically betting a parlay on him."
Oh no,
and it's that's what I'm saying. And it's usually like over. He'll get there like maybe like 45 minutes after.
45 is crazy.
If he says practice at 8, we're like, "All right, bro, practice starts at 9." And there's one of our teammates. It's like, "Yo, bro, like I know he's gonna be late. I've been on the team for 3 years. I know he's gonna be late. I'm gonna come in at 9. He's still gonna be late." And it's like, damn, bro, you're proving everybody right, coach. But we also have to remember. I don't want to like discredit him. He also has another job. He's coming from one place. I think in Miramar. I don't know how far that is.
It's pretty far. Yeah.
I live close to Miramar. It's like a 30-minute drive. Mm-hmm.
That's
kind of takes some time.
So yeah, when he is late, I try to tell the team not necessarily get on him because it's like one, he doesn't necessarily have to be here. He doesn't have to be here. He wants us to get better. So he's coming from one place. But, I mean, there's sometimes where it's like, coach, 2 hours? Yeah. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, 2 hours is crazy, but he's a good guy. So shout out.
He's a great guy.
If he's watching. But, yeah, how many games are left in this season? What are the plans for the offseason? You're going to be working, going back home?
For the offseason, continue to work, obviously improve my game. But, I mean, as you know, I do cut hair on the side, so that's how I make some of my money.
Can you get me right?
Of course I can.
Yeah.
Of course I can.
I just need a little fade on it. You don't even got to touch the top.
I got you. But
my barber is taxing lately. Raised it. I was like, damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of barbers doing that now. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, just continue to work. What was the other part of that question?
Any plans for the off season, or how many games? How you plan on closing out this season?
Got you. So I believe right now we have, I think maybe 6 or 7 games left.
Is like a playoff after, or is this just some?
So we actually have been trying to do a playoff. I know Coach after the season has told us about a tournament that's off campus that he wants us to participate in. Mm-hmm. But as for us as a developmental team, we don't have
just like a regular season. Okay.
Just a regular season. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, we have like 6 or 7 games left, and I mean, I'll try my best to ask Coach if we could stream him because I do want you guys to actually like see what it's like to play, like what it is, because it's fast paced. Yeah, you've seen the varsity team. It's like, okay, that's really fast paced, especially for being a Division II team. But like seeing a club team too, it's like it's a lot more different.
Yeah, y'all get up and down.
There's a lot of good athletes on the team.
Yes, yes. You have to be conditioned. I'm gonna say we always start the season off like maybe we'll do like a good first week and a half touching the ball, trying to see how everybody meshes together. And then that second week comes and it's miles. You have to do, I think, miles in a certain time, and you go from like 1 mile, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and then you have to make it on a certain time. If you don't, you got to do an extra lap. But even that, it's like, it's a lot.
That's when you're like, do I really want to do this shit?
Yeah, everybody dreads when that comes up because it's like, I don't want to be this. Yeah, at 9 in the night too. And like I said,
the mosquitoes biting out.
Exactly, and he'll be late. So it's like, bro, you're making me wait even more. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you guys played St. Thomas. That's a NAI. Like that school recruits players.
Yeah,
you guys are playing
players.
legit hoopers. It's tough.
Play prep schools too. I mean, I think Miami prep too, and they.
Yeah, I know that Miami prep stuff.
Last year, bro, it was crazy. I think the first play, it came down. I think 10. I think it was like 10 seconds into the shot clock. Came down, ripped through, rose up on one of our best players, and I was just like, there's no way he's punching this. He punched it. He's a freshman. He dropped 40 that game.
Jeez.
And I'm like, it's discredited sometimes. It's like, oh, it's just a club. It's like the club developmental team. But it's like, no, we're actually going against hoopers. They can hoop.
Yeah. So what was like the craziest, moment because that sounds crazy to me. Like, has anything crazy that happened in that game to you, or not to you, but like you've seen in the game?
Oh, I've never gotten dunked on. Yeah. I'm never going to get dunked on. I'm saying that now. I'm saying that now. I'm stepping out the way. I'm stepping out the way. I promise you. If I do, I'm hanging up my jersey. I'm sorry. But yeah, no. I think the craziest thing that's ever happened. Shout out to my guy Mael. I love him. I'm not throwing him under the bus.
That means something bad's got to happen.
I'm not throwing him under the bus, but it was
it's not good.
Yeah, everybody's gotten dunked on once or twice, but I think it was like he was like 7 foot. He was pretty tall. He's like 6'9", 6'10". But my friend Mael, he was under the rim. He was right under the hoop, so I guess he didn't have time to turn back. By the time you knew it, he was already hanging on.
The worst part is knowing like you don't know where the ball's going and you just turn around,
just
last
jump.
minute, ball's in your face, bro.
Yeah. But for sure, bro. If we were to spin that game back, he's jumping him for sure. Like it's crazy because he was a freshman, so him turning around to 6'9", hanging on the rim, it's like, golly.
What's worse, getting put on a poster or getting your ankles took?
Ooh. See, I think it probably be a poster.
I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
Because if you get dunked on and then like the force of them dunking on you makes you fall,
that's bad.
And they just stand over you, it's like, God. But if you get your ankles broken, you can get up, recover, get a steal.
At least you'd be like, my shoe got caught.
Yeah. Some people be like, coach, my knee my knee gave out. But yeah, getting dunked on, it's like we see it. Bro.
That's forever.
That might say you played defense at that point,
bro. Like if you like you break some of the ankles, the whole crowd is going crazy.
Yeah,
I'd post the crowd.
Silent,
dead silent.
And there's some people. There's some people that come on the court, start tapping your head. That's even worse. You don't see that when you get your ankles broken. It's just more like, oh, you got your ankles broken.
Bro, this is crazy.
Did you see the sequence in the varsity game?
Oh yeah.
I forgot which team they were playing. Jamel Lane.
I think it was, what was it? PBA?
Yeah, Palm Beach Atlantic.
It was PBA. Yeah, I did see the sequence. I was in the stands. We was just watching. We was just like, what's gonna happen? Because me and my guy Mael, we always come to the games. Yeah. Me and Samaje too. We just try to watch the games, see like little bits and parts we could take from them, try to implement on our team, see what does better for us versus what they do. And yeah, we saw it. I mean. Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to do that.
People started rushing on the court after that.
Yeah, I was.
Because I was broadcasting the game. I wish I could do that for the club team also. But after the first putback dunk, we were already shocked. And then he got the block on the other end. And once he got it on transition, I was like,
everybody was like, bro, if you don't give this to him, if you don't give this to him, you are selfish. But Kari as a player
I fucking
I was like, yeah, he's throwing that out. Yeah, as soon as he said this, I was like, yeah, game over. And then it's stuff like that. Even just to set the tone, it changes the energy so quick. They were up. They were up. And then once those 3 plays happened, they didn't know what to do. That home atmosphere just really changed everything.
If I was on an away team, I would be surprised.
I'd be like,
especially on the bench, I would have been
like, if that happened in an NBA game, that clip would go
viral for sure. Yeah. It's different.
And do you follow the NBA? I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I definitely do follow the NBA.
What's the biggest surprise this whole week with the trade deadline?
Luka, obviously.
Yeah.
That is crazy because now the Lakers are left without a big. Obviously, they have Jackson Hayes.
And they got Mark Williams, too.
Mark Williams. But, like, my thing is you had AD, one of the best bigs the league has ever seen. So it's like you took him away, and you're going to trade Luka, which is like you were supposed to build a team around him.
Yeah, that's your franchise guy.
And like, to say because what I'm hearing is because of his conditioning, you could always work on that. You can't
work on 30-point triple doubles.
That's what I'm saying.
When the Lakers reporting he's 230, he's not no 217.
No, he's not 270. No, I saw him in the pictures, but
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we talk about NBA a lot on the podcast. Last question for you: give me your pick. Who's going to win it all this year?
That's a good question. Who will?
Pretty open this year, honestly.
Yeah, it really is.
There's a lot of really good teams.
I mean, the Cavs they've been crazy. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's definitely going to be a team in the East. Definitely. Yeah, I think so. Between the Cavs, the Knicks, the Celtics, those three right now, they've been going stupid. OKC too. OKC definitely.
I love OKC.
Yeah. But yeah, I think to say who would win, it'd probably be, for me, either the Cavs or OKC. Especially with the run they've been doing. I don't know if the Celtics will make a repeat.
Yeah, they don't look as
they don't
cohesive as last year. Something's a little off.
I'm not even surprised. I just feel like it's fatigue because from going to the finals and then three other players, Tatum, White, and Drew Holiday were on the Olympic team playing this season. I'm pretty sure they're tired, and it shows right now.
Yeah, it's just tough to repeat that level of success back-to-back seasons. So.
Yeah,
it can be draining sometimes too. Yeah,
but Cavs OKC is his pick. Honestly, I think that'd be my pick for an NBA Finals at the moment. I think Boston might get past Cleveland just because they have more experience in that area. Plus, the matchup in the backcourt.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to matchups, OKC is probably my favorite too. But if they play against, I really, really like the Mavs team. Because the Mavs team, they're huge. And that's OKC's weakness. Yeah. I mean, Shaq's going to, like, bust Kyrie's ass.
Yeah. Whoa, don't talk on Kyrie.
I mean, it's going to be a really, really good playoff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Whoever makes it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a point where the 76ers was like the top team. I don't know what happened.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Someone drastically wrong there.
But yeah, I mean.
That was great. That's all I got for today. Any last questions?
Nah, that's it.
Anything you want to shout out, man?
I mean, obviously, I want to shout out Barry, obviously, for giving me the opportunity to continue to play basketball. I want to shout out my family for allowing me to come down here, being in Miami. I know it can be rough. My dad literally just called me while I was cutting hair. He was like, I miss my son. I want you to come home. I'm like, well, Dad, I got to be here. You're paying tuition. I got to be here. I have to show up to classes. But, yeah, I want to say thank you to them. And, obviously, I want to say thank you to God for allowing me to be here. Thank you guys, obviously, for hitting me up, telling me you wanted to be on the podcast. And, yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, man, thank you for coming on. It was great. You know, it's always good vibes with you every time I've talked to you.
Appreciate you.
You've helped me out with some stuff, so appreciate that. And that was the first interview we've done here on the podcast. If you guys enjoyed that, make sure to stay tuned for more as we have a lot more lined up in the coming weeks. And stay tuned because next me and Kamani are going to shit on your favorite NBA team for about an hour after the trade deadline. So that's all we got for this segment, and we'll catch you later.
Welcome to another episode of the Game Breakers podcast. I'm here with Daniel right here. You know it's me, it's Kimani, and we are excited for such an eventful podcast with such an eventful trade deadline this week. Daniel, please start us off. What is the second apron? Tell us all the rules, all the stuff we need to know.
Kamani bringing the energy today, man.
I'm here with the energy.
Just had a great interview, but we had to do an episode on. I mean, this was probably the craziest trade deadline I've ever seen or I've been a part of.
Yeah, for sure. This is probably the craziest trades I've seen in a long, long time. I hope it'll get spoiled. People are gonna get spoiled, and then seeing there's gonna be a reoccurring thing every year. But I'm happy to see this moment right here.
For sure. So yeah, we're gonna go over at least all the notable trades. There was too many trades to just keep track of every single one, but we're going to go over the notable trades, give our grades and reactions to the trades. But first, wanted to go over some terminology or ideas that the viewers may not know. We're going to be talking about it a lot in this episode, which is how the cap is set up in the NBA. You have the luxury tax, which is currently set at $170 million. So if teams go over this tax, they have to pay it, and the teams that are under get a portion of that tax money back. So teams try to stay below the luxury tax for the most part, unless you're a contending team. After the luxury tax is your first and second apron. The first apron is set at $178 million. which the Knicks, Lakers, Bucks, and Nuggets are over. And your second apron is set at $188.9 million, which the Suns, Wolves, and Celtics are currently over. Now, the reason you want to stay under these aprons is because they severely restrict your team building and some of the resources you have. For example, you can't sign buyout players if you're over the second apron. You can't take back more salary than you send out in a trade if you're over the first apron. And other things like you can't trade multiple players in a deal, can't send out cash in a trade. So we saw a lot of teams this deadline facilitating in those 3-team deals and stuff like that, trying to stay under those aprons, try to manage their cap and their future resources.
So I want to start us off with probably the biggest trade of this trade.
Yeah, let's go in order.
Of all NBA history.
We got to go with this one.
The Hornets received the 2029 second-round pick via Suns, and OKC received 2030 conditional second-round pick. 2 amazing picks that are worth in the future. What do you think about this trade, Daniel? Absolutely shocking by Sam Presti right here.
So when did this happen? Was this after the Luka trade or?
No, we're talking about the biggest trade right here.
I'm just saying because
this happened February 3rd.
I remember when
this was after the Luka trade.
After the Luka and Fox trade, everyone was just shook, and then Kamani's like, "Yo, you're not gonna believe that trade that just happened," and he sends me some bullshit second round pick swap.
All right, but like for real though, like Luka to the Mavericks, Daniel, Luka to the Lakers, sorry.
Let's start with this one.
Yeah, where were you? What happened? What were your reactions?
So this happened at midnight, like 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was in my room, and my friend texted me, Luka got traded, and I thought he was trolling me. I was like, why is he just randomly trolling me at 12 o'clock? And I checked my phone, and I thought Shams got hacked, honestly. I had to refresh Twitter.
Shams thought he got hacked.
I mean, this was the most surprising trade I think I've ever seen in the NBA.
For sure.
Luka gets traded, which about a week ago everyone would have told you he's one of the only untouchable players in the NBA, and then he gets traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. The full details of this trade are Luka, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris, which the Lakers get in return for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first, which is unprotected.
Yeah.
And then the Jazz facilitate this deal as a third team. They get Jalen Hood-Schifino and 2 future second-round picks. But okay, I got to give this an A+ for the Lakers.
It's only an A+?
I mean, can't go higher.
Yeah.
For the Mavericks, I'm not going to lie. I was pretty furious at them had a lot of low thoughts about their organization at the time. Thinking it over a little bit, I'm still going to give them I'll say a C+, but which a week ago probably would have been like a D. So
yeah. I agree too. Daniel was the one that woke me up actually. He was like, Kimani, you just see what happened? I'm like, yo, what happened? I saw her.
I was like, there's no way Kimani hasn't seen this.
Bro, I'm like, I saw our channel got deleted. So I'm like, yo, what happened? What happened? It's like Luka got traded. I'm like, no way, bro. But yeah, like it was an amazing moment for me. All my friends were calling me like, Kimani, what do you think about the trade? Like people were asking me when you drop in the podcast, we want to hear your opinion. I'm like, here I am now. But yeah, it's an amazing trade. People were talking, poorly about the Mavericks. I'm gonna talk about the Mavericks first. We all know Luka's on top 3, top 5 player in the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna defend Nico Harrison, but I see what he was trying to do. I wouldn't do it myself. Let me just get that clear. But having Anthony Davis on your team, with that type of team, a lot of bigs, a lot of shooting around him, that team can really make it far in the playoffs. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to the finals and win the championship. I don't think they're going to, but I wouldn't be surprised because that's how much I love their team. But on the Lakers standpoint, Lakers fleece the Mavericks same ways. I really don't. You do not ever give a top 5 player in the NBA who's
in their prime.
I don't think he entered his prime. He's only 25.
That's insane, man. Like,
I mean, yeah. So the Lakers. We'll talk about this trade and we'll talk about the other one later. But the Lakers got their future that everybody's been, dreading about when LeBron retires. That answer got cleared. They have more shooting. They have someone that can actually relieve LeBron from all of that ball pressure that he's been trying to get AD to do for him. It's just an amazing trade. Shout out to Rob Pelinka. He got 10 years extra on his contract with the Lakers because I saw he was gone next season. But here we are.
Yeah, that's the crazy. It's like, okay, the Mavericks had valid concerns about Luka's, whether it's conditioning or the weight or his defense and stamina and effort not being championship caliber. I understand that, but it doesn't excuse, one, how they went about this trade, and two, the value they got for him. I mean, we were talking about this. What, Rudy Gobert fetched 5 first-round picks.
You only get 1 pick from.
Mikal Bridges got, 5 as well?
Yep.
And I know those deals didn't have Anthony Davis in them,
Yeah.
but still, there were so many assets they could have gotten back from LA, like Connect, like that 2031 pick.
It's funny because
didn't.
those people were in the trade, and Rob Pelinka talked him out of getting those people, which, again, shout out to Rob Pelinka, Craven, do that talk. Even trying to renegotiate a Luka trade, get his balls already. Yeah. But, he did it. He got less. Used those assets to get the center that we needed.
If I'm Rob Pelinka and I hear Luka, I don't give a
I don't
what
care.
you offer me. I'm accepting that. But yeah, you just can't trade away. Luka's taken them to a conference finals, finals. So you can't say he's not a winning player because he's taken rosters that aren't very good to the highest level. And we have, maybe aside from Jokic, we haven't seen a player that can put up these numbers. He averages damn near a 30-point triple-double. That's just ridiculous.
For sure.
But another thing is Luka is no longer eligible to sign the Supermax extension, which is $345 million. And another thing is he's going from a stay in Texas, which is tax exemption, to LA, which has one of the highest income taxes in the whole U.S. So Luka's gonna lose a lot of money, but he's going to the huge market in the NBA. He's
gonna get to it, bro. Yeah. But sticking with the Lakers, just to finish off what they got, they also received Mark Williams for trading Dalton Connect and Cam Reddish, 2031 unprotected first round, and a 2030 pick swap. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so this is a high-risk, high-reward trade for the Lakers. I think this is a good job by the Hornets to sell high on a young piece in Mark Williams, but it's risky for both teams. Yeah. The Lakers are trading a lot of their, they have no future flexibility in terms of...
Yeah, they have no more picks.
Their next tradable first-round pick, because of the Stepien rules, in 2033.
That's crazy.
Which they can't even access till 2 more years down. So they have no flexibility. But when LeBron leaves, they'll have more money to work with, obviously. Talking to players, Mark Williams, he's played 85 games in 3 seasons. So the injury concerns are there. Yeah. But when they made this trade, I knew they were going to go after a center. And they could not have gotten a more perfect piece to fit alongside Luka.
For sure. Mark Williams, he wasn't even on my mind because I didn't see the Hornets with a trade because, again, he's a really good center, a young one too. So let's take somebody... LaMelo.
Yeah, I was thinking John Collins, Capella, someone like that.
Yeah, I was thinking more like Robert Williams, one of those lesser athletic bigs. And to get Mark Williams is amazing. Cause they're trying to get Jalen Duren too. Pistons knew not to do that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing that I even got this. And I agree that there were some about 2031 anything can happen, but I doubt Luka's leaving the team. I doubt Mark Williams is gonna unless they trade him. But I feel like it's okay to trade these picks because knowing you have Luka in your team, that alone is gonna give you
gives you such a high floor for the next 10, 12 seasons.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, for the Hornets, I do like the idea to sell high on a young ascending player like this. They got Connect, who's shown a lot of promise as a rookie, and they've got a lot of draft capital to work with now, but they do have a hole at center now, and they've got to replace that. Mark Williams was a surefire starter.
Got Nurkic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really doing much, but...
So they need a center.
Yeah, they need a center.
But yeah, I'll give this one A- for the Lakers, just because if this pans out, this is a sneaky, really impactful deal for them, and then I'll give the Hornets a B+.
Yeah, I gave the Lakers a B+ for this just because of how injury concerns can happen. Lakers really have a bad history of having injury-prone centers. So I want to see how this works. But again, like you said, there's a lot of upside. Playing with LeBron and playing with Luka, especially for an extended period of time, those two players have given a lot of mediocre centers a big bad because of how impactful they can be. Mark Williams is not no mediocre center. So knowing what they could propel him to become, I feel like he won't be an all-star, but he can be playing at the all-star level or impactful.
Yeah, and we've seen Mark Williams play with LaMelo, so and those games have been great when they play together. So Luka's last year, it was Lob City in Dallas with Lively and Gafford. So yeah, Mark Williams is gonna be great in LA.
But before we go away from this, I just want to break down the build up because I have a lot of reports about what happened. So Nika Harrison is the GM for the Mavericks, and Rob Pelinka is the GM for the Lakers. They had a coffee in Dallas about a month ago. Nico pitched the idea of trading Luka to Rob. Then Rob asks him, "Are you serious? There's no way you're serious about this." Nico was like, he's just throwing the idea around. Several weeks are going by where they're going back and forth. So this trade wasn't out of nowhere. This is something that's building up. Nick offers Luka to Rob in return for AD, doesn't connect, and a 29 first round plus 2031. Rob was like, no, I'm concerned about Luka's health. I feel like I'm giving you too much for Luka. Nico understands. I'm like, okay, I won't take connect. I won't take the 2031 pick, and the trade happens.
See, that's how I talk when I'm like trying to do trades in fantasy football.
Yeah.
See, I'm giving too much.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
But in all the notable things, Luka did not request a trade. The Mavs made this trade due to concern of conditioning and issue weight, like we were talking about. The Lakers weren't going to extend AD next summer, so they already weren't sinking AD to be on their long plan.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me, but I guess I understand. And the Mavericks are offering refunds for the remaining home games for their season, which is crazy.
I mean, everyone knew this was like the Mavericks had to shut down their Instagram.
Like they gutted their fans, and I'm sorry for you.
Like, yes, the Mavericks are good. They have a chance to contend for the next couple years,
Yeah,
but
it's sometimes bigger than basketball.
they're still not the favorites. So
Yeah.
if you don't win in the next 2 years, then you have LA, who's got a franchise player for 12 years. It's like, how do you even compare that?
Yeah.
And like you said, with the timeline, it's just crazy how nothing came out. It's a deal of that impact. We see so many rumors come out,
for sure.
like with the next trade we're going to talk about. But it's crazy nothing got out from that trade.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about, I think, the second biggest deal of the deadline is De'Aaron Fox, the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio receives Fox and McLaughlin. Kings receive lots. Zach LaVine, Sidi Sissoko, who was eventually rerouted to the Wizards. A 2025 first-round pick. So this one's lottery protected.
So
it's not going to convey.
It's going to
end up
convey to two
second-round picks. So really, the Kings just received 2 first-rounders from this trade, which is 2027 from the Spurs unprotected and 2031 from the T-Wolves unprotected. These could be good assets. Like,
not the Spurs, but Minnesota.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Spurs did give a lot, and the Kings did get some decent.
The Spurs give up a lot.
I mean, you're giving 2 unprotected picks, 5 second-rounders. Like, it is capital for sure.
Yeah.
But which brings me to my next point is Spurs still have a ton of draft capital left. They have their own first-round pick for the next 5-6 years. They have those Hawks picks who are unprotected. And yeah, they got De'Aaron Fox, a franchise point guard to pair with Wemby. We saw the first game that De'Aaron Fox played. He was electric.
Yeah.
This is an A+ for the Spurs as well.
Yeah, but to include, the Bulls also got Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 pick back from San Antonio. But yeah, I agree. The Spurs A+. Not only did they get Fox, but they didn't give up any of their valuable players. I'm surprised that Castle stayed on the team.
Vassell, yeah.
Sohan was even on the team. Kellen Johnson was even on the team. I'm like, that's crazy to me. But that being said, for the Kings, I gave them a B, not because they couldn't do anything about it. Because if you're in their perspective, everybody knew Fox was going to go to the Spurs one way or the other. So it's better you try to get some type of assets back.
Yeah, then let him walk.
Then just let him on. And then, for the Bulls, I gave them a C. I probably want to give them an F, honestly. Damn! Because, we've been talking about this. They traded Caruso to OKC, who has 1,001 picks. You traded DeMar DeRozan to the Kings. You trade Zach LaVine to the Kings. How many first-round picks do you get out of all of those players? 0. That's crazy to me. I mean, the only pick that they got back.
They did get a first year.
Their own pick back. But I mean, like, those are 3 really, really valuable players, and you couldn't get one pick back. I just feel like that's bad GMing. That's bad organizational structures. But yeah, I give an A+ to the Spurs, B to the Kings, C to the Bulls.
Well, I'm actually going to give the Bulls a bit better grade than you. I'll give them a B. I think overall, what they did, the deadline was not good. I don't like the direction they're taking with the roster. I mean, they haven't been building that team in a good way. But I think this trade individually, I mean, you're getting off LaVine's contract, who, aside from Beal, has been one of the more untradeable contracts in the league. Like, we've seen LaVine enter trade talks to a lot of teams. So, I mean, they get some expiring deals here from the Spurs. Trey Jones is one of them.
Yeah.
And their own 2025 pick back from San Antonio, which is big because now they can try to enter the Cooper Flag talks or at least tank and get into the top of what is a really good draft class. So I kind of like this trade just as an individual move for the Bulls. But like you said, the overall direction this team is going is not a good one.
I agree. So the third biggest one, I want to be the one talking about this and asking you about your opinion. The Golden State Warriors.
You tripping, bro.
The Golden State Warriors trade for Jimmy Butler. Miami Heat. I'd expect Miami Heat to, get some great assets back, full-year superstar that carried it to 2 finals. But you got all-star starter Andrew Wiggins.
Shut up.
PJ Tucker, who got rerouted, and a protected first-round pick. What are your thoughts, Daniel?
Yeah, so this is a 5-team trade.
Very big trade, yeah.
It first started, I think 3 teams were involved, and then ended up coming out yesterday, 5 teams were involved. Miami also got Davion Mitchell from the Raptors in this one, the pick like you mentioned, and then the Jazz facilitated this one. They get Josh Richardson from Miami a couple seconds. But yeah, we'll talk about Miami and Golden State. It's the meat of this trade. Okay, at first I would have given Miami an F, but at the end of the day, with this Jimmy Butler thing has been going on for months and months, they had no leverage in this situation because Jimmy Butler was saying he didn't want to sign an extension with this team. He would only go with the Suns, who they couldn't find out a deal with. So for what Miami was dealt, I mean, they get Andrew Wiggins and a first-round pick, which is top 10 protected, so it'll probably convey. And Miami did not have their own pick this year. So Miami gets better because Butler hasn't played at all this year, and they get a pick back. But ultimately, yeah, it's not good because Butler was like, the Heat have no business making the finals without Jimmy Butler because when the playoffs came, Butler elevated to that true number 1 alpha, which is what it takes to win in the playoffs. Miami doesn't have that on the roster anymore. So they might make the playoffs. They might end up as a pretty good team. They're going to be very good defensively, I'll tell you, with Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam, and Ware, but this team is not going to go far without Jimmy.
I agree. And talking about like the worst perspective, I don't like this trade either for them. And then to make it worse, you give him a 2-year extension, 121 mil, 60 M a year. Why? Do you, like, Warriors fans, please talk, do you really think you are gonna compete for a championship with Jimmy Butler and team? I do not think so. Why are you paying him 60 mil a year for it? Hindering your future even more. Right? This is not the way to approach helping Curry. This is hurting you even more.
Yeah, the Warriors have been desperate to land a second star to pair with Curry the whole year. Like, they tried to go after George in free agency, then they tried to trade for Markkanen and Kevin Durant, which didn't work. So they get their star, but like you said, for what price? $60 million per year, and they trade away their only first-round pick this year. So I don't know. I would give a C- for the Warriors because
he's still there.
This team has championship pedigree, and then you add Jimmy Butler, who's taken Miami to 2 finals in the last 4 years. So I wouldn't be surprised if
they're going to make the playoffs, the Warriors?
Yeah, I think they'll get in the playoffs. But it is a tough Western Conference. They're currently, 10?
Yeah, I think they're 10 right now. I don't know. I really doubt it because if you're talking about like locks real quick, OKC, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Rockets, Lakers, Timberwolves, I feel like those 6 are locks. Mavericks, I have making the playoffs. And then you leave the Clippers, the Suns, the Kings. The Warriors are 11th seed right now. So there's a lot of, and I don't feel like they're the best team out of those.
No, if the Warriors get in, it's going to be 8 or 7 at best.
7 is lucky, but I agree. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, so I'll give this a C- for the Warriors. Heat, a little better. Probably C+ or a B-.
Yeah.
Another thing is Miami does go below the first apron with this deal, so it does give them more flexibility. And they could have gone under the luxury tax as well, which I thought Mickey Arison was going to do that because he doesn't usually like paying up to build a good team, but if they traded Kyle Anderson, they would have went under the luxury tax. They didn't get that done. But overall, adding Andrew Wiggins and Davion Mitchell to your team is a big upgrade.
For sure.
And getting that draft capital is good for a player who didn't play for you all season. So moving on, I'll go to the Brandon Ingram trade.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a big surprise. Now, I don't really like this deal for either side.
Yeah.
It's just a 2-team deal. Raptors receive B.I. Pelicans receive Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a 2026 first-round pick from Indy, which is top 4 protected, and a 2031 second-round pick from Toronto. What are your thoughts?
Like I said, for the Raptors, I feel like this is a terrible trade because, again, if I'm a GM, I want to be like, how does this make my team better? Knowing that Brandon Ingram's a free agent this season, are you sure he's going to re-sign with you? I mean, if he got his word, then kudos to you. But, again, you're giving up a first-round pick for this. And, I mean, you didn't give up too much, Bruce Brown and Kelly, they're cool and all. But I don't know. I don't really like this trade. I don't love it, I should say. But I'll give him a B. I'll give him a B. Because Brandon Ingram is still, a very good player when he does play.
Yep.
For the Pelicans, I think I like this more because, the Ingram, he was going to leave it away. You got first round pick for that. You got Bruce Brown, who's a good role player for you. So I'll give him like a B plus as well.
I don't like this at all for the Pelicans. I'm going to give the Raptors a higher grade. Now, I agree with you that they're a luxury tax team with RJ Barrett, Ingram, Pirtle, and
It's crazy.
And Quickly.
Super playing team.
Literally. So, yeah, this team is not good enough to be paying the luxury tax.
Yeah.
And also you're adding Ingram, who's kind of redundant with RJ Barrett already as a player. So I don't like the fit, and I don't like how much money they're well, I forgot Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
I don't like how much they're allocating to this group of players that is not a championship group. But ultimately, like you said, they got Brandon Ingram, who's a great player for not a high price. Bruce Brown and Olynyk are like mid-level exception players.
Yeah, for sure.
They give up a top 4 protected first. I'll give this a B- for the Raptors, and I'm going to give it a C- for the Pelicans. I just don't know what the Pelicans are doing. I mean, they traded so much for DeJounte Murray at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Now they're trading away Brandon Ingram, and they're left with Zion, who never plays, and Murray's hurt. Like, this team just has no direction.
With Ingram being traded, that's all of the assets they got from the AD trade. So,
And like, they got a championship.
How is that looking now for you? But next trade I want to talk about, very underrated trade, very good trade. The Cavs received DeAndre Hunter. The Hawks received Caris LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 second-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. What are your thoughts?
A+ for the Cavaliers.
Agreed.
This was a great move for the Hawks. I'm going to, not only this trade.
Great move for who?
For the Cavs.
Oh, you said Hawks.
No, I'm saying for the Hawks, I'm going to give this. I'm going to grade their overall deadline, which is an F.
I agree, 100%.
Like, what are they doing?
Do they not know that they don't own their own pick? I don't think
they're tanking without a draft pick.
Yeah, I don't think they're away. But this is just a dominant effect because off season, I wouldn't be surprised if Cherry gets traded. I don't know to where because
hopefully free him.
Yeah, because Spurs got Fox, so I don't know where he's gonna go, but I know he's not gonna be a hot much longer.
Yeah, Hawks get Caris LeVert, Georges Niang, 3 future second rounders. I don't know the details on those, and 2 pick swaps.
Yeah. But for the Cavs, they wanted a bigger wing who can shoot the ball and play some defense. This is exactly who they needed to complete their team. Amazing. And, not really a trade, but there's rumors saying that Ben Simmons is asking for a buyout, and the Cavs are one of his main targets. So if you get, he's not superstar Ben Simmons, but, he's a good role player to come off and give you 10, 15 minutes off your bench. So, Cavs are really, really looking better and better as the season winnows down.
Yeah, and one of the stories from the offseason was that the Cavaliers they were a good team last season, and they didn't really make any improvements to the roster, which was weird because we think of them as a contender. And then this season, they come out of the gates firing like the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they finally make that addition. DeAndre Hunter will slot in at small forward in the starting lineup, along with Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen. So this is a great move for Cleveland. They don't give anything. For the Hawks, like you said, they're tanking with no pick. I mean, they also traded away Bogdanovich in another deal. I just don't know what the Hawks are doing, frankly, and they're about to give San Antonio a chance at Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg to go along with Wemby and Fox.
I can't believe how good the Spurs are really rebuilding around. Like, it's crazy to me.
I think the Spurs and the Thunder are like 2 of the bottom 5 teams in terms of how much they're spending towards the cap.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. But talking about cap, the Washington Wizards, they've been acquiring a lot of people. Washington Wizards receive Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, and 2028 first-round pick swap. The Bucks receive Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, yeah, I was going to do this one.
Patrick Baldwin Jr., Jericho Sims, and 2025 second-round pick. The Knicks were also involved in this trade. They received DeLon Wright from the Bucks, Josh Rice to Hugo Benson, who's a rookie, I believe, or a 2-way player from the Bucks on cash considerations. What do you think about this?
Yeah, Bucks, I don't know. This was a weird deal. I didn't really expect it. Do you really think Kyle Kuzma is an upgrade from Middleton? They've both had poor seasons.
Yeah.
Of course, Kuzma's younger. Bucks do get below the second apron with this trade, which is big because now they can get a buyout player in free agency. But I guess the Bucks didn't really give anything. Patrick Baldwin gets rerouted to San Antonio, and then Wizards get Middleton, who has been a Bucks legend during their title runs. Yes. But, yeah, I'll give this a C+ for Milwaukee, and I guess a C flat out for the Wizards.
Yeah, I'll give the Bucks around a C just because I don't really see how much better Kyle Kuzma is gonna make your team. Plus, you're giving up AJ Johnson. He's a rookie. You guys need more young players, and I feel like he has a lot of potential to, carry on the future with Giannis if he's still on the team. And then for the Wizards, I guess I'll give them a B minus. Just because I understand why they're doing this. They're getting assets back. They get the AJ Johnson. You have nothing to lose with another rookie on your team, and get a 2028 first round pick swap. So, it's just business at the end of the day, and I see why they did it.
Yeah, the only thing holding up this deal for Milwaukee is they get below the second apron and
Yeah.
they get younger at forward with Kuzma to Middleton, but pretty lateral deal. I don't think it affects either side all too much. Those are pretty much all the notable trades. I have some other deals sprinkled in. We'll get one from your Wizards, Marcus Smart,
Yeah, I was just yeah.
Colby Jones, Alex Len, in a 2025 first from Memphis. And the Grizzlies get Bagley, Johnny Davis in a second.
2 seconds.
I don't know about this one for Memphis. What do you think?
I mean, to continue on, the Kings also get Jake LaRavia from
yeah.
the Grizzlies. But it hurts in a way knowing, we gave up a fair amount for Marcus Smart, and knowing I personally knew this wasn't going to work, because why would you do this trade knowing that we have Desmond Bain at the 2 and Ja the 1? I never actually saw it happening, and I guess I was right at the end. And giving up our first round pick, I honestly, even though it's our first round pick, we don't really need any more players on the team. That's why we traded Jake LaRavia to the Kings, because we just have too many good bench pieces. We're gonna start losing them at this point, but I understand why. I actually like getting Marvin Bagley. Johnny Davis not so much, but
I like Johnny Davis coming out of college too. I don't know what happened.
Well, for Marvin Bagley, I'm excited in a way. He has some versatility. We need some more centers, more big men on the team. So I feel like, for the Grizzlies, not all the time, Zach E can play for us. So I mean, it's nothing too crazy. But
Yeah.
It's something that can happen, something that can help us.
Yeah, I just don't love this for the Grizzlies overall, especially losing LaRavia for pretty much nothing. I mean, I don't know why they had to give him away in this deal, because he didn't really get
pay him probably.
Yeah, he didn't really get a good shot in Memphis.
Yeah, but when he did get minutes, he was really
He was good,
I
yeah.
really did like him. So I was shocked. I was actually heartbroken when we traded him.
And I'm pretty sure they traded up into the first round to get him, right? LaRavia.
I believe so. Yeah.
So, yeah, and then they lose the first round pick from this year. But like you said, they have a depth issue in a good way, because they have so much players.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a deal where you trade for Smart, it comes back to bite you, and then you have to give away a pick to make up for it, which is another thing that the Suns did, trading Cody Martin, Micic, and a second. The Suns got that return, and then the Hornets get Nurkic in a first. I'm going to give an F to the Suns for the deadline and their overall team building. They're the highest team over the luxury tax. They're well above the second apron, and they have no shot at winning a championship.
I mean, all of this is just because of you. This is for the GM, for the Suns, the organization, for even attempting to believe Bradley Beal was your answer. Because
they traded for the worst contract in the league.
Knowing that, and him having a no trade clause, you could have had Jimbo on your team. But because of stuff like this is what happens. And then I don't see the money not chipping anymore. KD getting older. Bradley Beal is getting worse and worse by the second. Not by the games, but by the second he's getting worse. And I mean, Booker's gonna start going back to his rookie days where he's just losing and can't do anything about it, putting on empty starts. What's the cool empty starts?
70.
Yeah, so I mean, the Suns are in purgatory right now, and it's not looking good at all for them.
Yeah, Suns, they had no flexibility, like you said, with Beal's no trade clause and being so high over the second apron, they couldn't really get anything done except hurting themselves by giving up one of their only tradable draft assets and getting rid of Nurkic's contract.
Another quick trade is the Philly traded with the Mavericks too. Quentin Grimes and a 2025 second round pick. The Mavericks get Caleb Martin. Philly gets Quentin Grimes. What do you think about this?
Yeah, this is another trade Dallas lost. I mean, it's not as bad as the Luka trade, of course, and you're just trading Grimes for Martin, but I guess Quentin Grimes was set to make a little bit more money in free agency than Martin would have on his current contract, which I think is 3 or 4 years left. But this trade put Dallas back over the luxury tax, so they're paying to get over the luxury tax, to not even get better, and to get older. It was just kind of puzzling for me.
For the Philly standpoint, I kind of understand why they're doing this. They understand and they see fully that they're not going to be competing for a championship this year, so they're just trying to relieve some money right now.
Yeah.
So like you're talking about, Caleb Martin is making more money for a longer period of time than Quentin Grimes. crazy to me that they got a second-round pick back from the Mavericks, knowing that, they're getting the better player as well.
Yeah.
And then not only did they do that, but they also traded to the Pistons KJ Martin and draft compensation to, again, relieve some money. So, I mean, it's good for the Philly. I give him like a solid C plus B minus because I see you accepted that this is not the season again.
Mm-hmm.
So, good for them.
Yeah, I agree. Any other trades you wanted to highlight or details from the deadline?
Nah, I think that's it. But tell me your biggest winners for this trade deadline.
Yeah, the biggest winner is going to be the Lakers, of course.
Sure.
You get top 3 player in the NBA, and you fill your biggest need after that trade, which was center, and you get not only a starting center, but a great young one. And yeah, of course, they don't have the draft capital moving forward, but they have such a good young core with Reeves and Hachimura as third and fourth options. So Lakers are the biggest winner. Aside from them, I'll go with San Antonio. I've been wanting them to pair Wemby with that second star, and they got a great one in Fox. Biggest loser.
Dallas Mavericks. I mean, yeah, biggest loser. I have to go with Dallas Mavericks. I have to go with the Heat as well. In a way, I mean, like I said, I get what you're saying, but just knowing all this drama occurred, it really hurts, your organization going forward.
Yeah.
But I know the losers that we're talking about is the Warriors. Signing Jimmy to that 60-year deal, is crazy to me. 60 million year deal, sorry. And again, I just don't see how much Jimmy can really help you 2-3 years from now. And my 4 lose, I had 4 of them actually. Is the Bulls. I didn't really like their whole free agency trade deadline, having 6 point guards on the team same way. They were starting 4 point guards like a week ago on Vucevic, and your decision is to not trade not even one of them. So that's crazy to me. But one of my other biggest winners is Jimmy Butler, because he got
Jimmy Butler was the winner of the deadline.
Yeah, he literally got everything that he wanted and more. So
he got a vacation, an extension, and he went to a better team.
So kudos to him. But before we end, I had a quick rapid fire, like 8 questions. I want you to answer quick. Don't think too hard. Just give me your answers real quick. Ready? All right. True or false? PJ Tucker played more minutes this season than the amount of times he got traded.
I'm gonna go false.
That's correct. He got traded 3 times and played
in
0.
what, 2 days?
Yep, and played 0 minutes in this season. Which 4 teams didn't make this trade deadline? 3 teams in the West, 1 in the East.
Thunder made a little trade.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers?
Nah, Clippers traded.
Denver.
Yeah, Denver is 1. I know the team. They're trying to get KD.
Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm. This other team is tanking right now, but they've been playing really, really good.
I know the Jazz made trades. Then I don't know
about the Blazers.
Oh, okay.
And
that's surprising because Blazers had some pieces they could have moved.
And then the next team is in the East right now. 2 of their star players got hurt early in the season, but didn't make any trades.
Philly made trades.
Orlando Magic. Yeah, the Orlando.
Your favorite team, Orlando.
True or false? Kendrick Perkins says he was the real leader.
I saw that.
Oh.
And then Kevin Durant was like,
"That's the craziest shit I've seen all week, and I know how crazy this week." All right, does the Mavericks trade made him a top 3 team in the West?
No.
Okay. Does the Lakers trade made him a top 3 team in the West?
No.
Okay.
I'm going OKC, Houston, and Denver ahead of them still.
Okay. How many times was Dennis Schroeder traded this season? And can you name all of the teams?
Oh, man. Well, I know he was traded. We'll start with the deadline to Miami to Utah, right?
He was traded before that.
Yeah, I know, but starting, those are 2 of them, right?
Wait, all right. What are 2 teams?
Miami to Utah.
Okay, yeah.
He was traded to Brooklyn.
Yeah, from Brooklyn to Warriors, yeah. So 1 more team.
There's 1 more?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So he started off he was out of Nets, got traded to the Warriors, played.
I forgot about the Warriors.
Yeah. So, but you're missing 1 more. So the Warriors to the Heat, Heat to the Jazz, Jazz to the
Pistons.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What number is
after he said that crazy comment?
Yeah, crazy comment. What number is Wiggins wearing for the Heat?
The jersey that should be retired. 22.
What was the most under the radar trade this trade deadline in your opinion?
We'll go the DeAndre Hunter one.
I agree. Actually, I agree with that. True or false? Kendrick Perkins says the Warriors wanted a Beyonce Taylor Swift, but ended up with a Nicki Minaj when it comes into the Jimmy Butler trade. Did he say that?
That sounds like something Kendrick Perkins would say.
Was true.
I'm gonna go true.
All right, that's all the rapid questions I got for you.
All right, that's going to be all we have today. It was a great deadline. I look forward to seeing how these players are going to perform on their new teams. Luka's set to play either Saturday or Monday.
I think it's Monday.
One of those.
AD's playing today.
Yeah, Anthony Davis is returning. De'Aaron Fox, we already saw take the stage for San Antonio. So I'm excited to see what happens for the rest of the NBA season. Like we said earlier in the interview, is a wide open year this year for a lot of teams.
It's like 7, 5, 6, 7 like contenders for real.
So make sure to tune in and see what happens going forward. Hope you enjoyed our thoughts. Comment down below what you thought about the deadline. He's a fake Memphis fan. See, I'm going to stay with Miami no matter what.
Go LeBron. I want LeBron to win one more ring.
Yeah, I do too. But that's all the time we have here today on the Game Breakers podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe for more episodes coming each week. And once again, we thank you guys for watching and tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.